emerging technologies. So the blockchain think tank is intended to house together the blockchain community and other relevant stakeholders within our society, such as the Bank of Uganda, the Uganda Revenue Authority. We've already approached some of the blockchain entities within the community. We have moved to become part of members of the Blockchain Association of Uganda. We are already in touch with the Uganda Revenue Authority. The Uganda Law Society has moved to endorse our project. So with this kind of setting of a think tank, we'll be able to understand and analyze blockchain through a legal lens to be able to have solutions to some of the issues that were earlier on in the day being raised by Her Excellency, the former sixth president of Mauritius, which were reiterated by our own Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta. The scalability of the success of our projects will be determined by the increased number of membership, and beyond the target of the pitch, we'll be able to have members subscribe to this think tank to be able to have more sessions of the think tank organized. And through these think tanks, we are persuaded that we will be able to have policy briefs, advisory opinions, and legal normative framework erected to be able to enhance the ecosystem of blockchain. Let's move on to the last slide. Yes, our expected outcome is to break down, to refine, and rebuild thinking about the new global paradigm by which law and policymakers can observe the rewriting of traditional services such as finance relationships and blockchain in general. So we are going to provide a direction for blockchain, in turn proposing an engaging role of the state. So we entreat whoever is interested in being part of this think tank to kindly follow up with us, Cyber Law Initiative, www.cyberline.org, or meet up with me after this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all the presenters make their presentations. At the end of the presentations, the judges will make their decisions, which we will announce. Just for those of you who have joined us, the pitch competition is being sponsored by Binance as our main sponsor, with $10,000 in cash and in kind. The winner of this pitch competition will walk away with $5,000 and one of the state-of-the-art laptops. Our second prize winner will walk away with $1,500 plus a very unique gift hamper. And the third person will walk away with $500. The other sponsors are SureMeet and Crypto Savannah. So our next speaker, can you please come to the stage and make your presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timothy Mugabi Lubega, and I'm the CTO at TradeVest, co-founder of Vilix Limited, developers of TradeVest. Imagine a scenario. The providers of this event, be it the tents, you have done your service, you have done your work, and you're waiting to be paid. Then you're given an invoice. The invoice will be paid within 15 to 30 days. And yet tomorrow you have another engagement. You want to pay your workers. You want to give them their money to go back home and come back the next day happy to work for you. But you can't wait 15 to 30 days. Will your business collapse? What do you do next? Well, TradeVest is an invoice management platform that gives SMEs. TradeVest is an invoice management platform that gives SMEs access to instant working capital by buying the outstanding invoices. Our core technology is the blockchain to help us prevent duplication and reuse of invoices using smart contracts. Our biggest problem is invoice duplication and reuse. Why? For a market of 22 million SMEs across sub-Saharan Africa, 70% of them are rejected by banks when they take their invoices to the bank. So what we do, as an invoice factoring, you want to provide the solution to SMEs. But what is the challenge? Invoice duplication, fraud, reuse. So what do? We go to the blockchain. With the blockchain, our architecture allows us to prevent reuse of this invoice that you've just built, and it prevents multiple sale of the exact same invoice on our platform. With TradeVest, the user submits an invoice to the client using our platform. The client approves the invoice. The invoice is posted on the blockchain, and the client can then request financing on the blockchain. TradeVest then enters a smart contract with the client that has been billed for the invoice that's been billed, and then the user receives cash, the blockchain is updated, and the invoice cannot be changed. With the blockchain, we provide reliability, security, and an openness on a peer-to-peer platform. Allowing authentic transfer of invoices from us to our clients and allowing us to give SMEs a new breath of life. Be rest assured, if you get an invoice, TradeVest has you covered, because with TradeVest, you trade best with blockchain. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the change, but I think all things happen for good. We have 8 presenters. Asking the judges to score at the end of 8 presentations is a bit too much. So I'm going to ask Mr. Daniel Opio, who presented first, and also Timothy, to please come to the podium. The judges will ask each of them a question. And then that is how we shall do it for presenter number 3 up to presenter number 8. After their presentations, they'll be asked some questions. We shall do our scoring, which should make it easy at the end of the presentations to make a credible decision on who the winner is. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for the presentation and the ideas about the think tank. I wasn't clear, what exactly is your product or service?
Our service is to come up with the knowledge or information management system that is drawn from the blockchain community and from the blockchain lawyers. So with this kind of consortium of both the blockchain community and the blockchain lawyers, the lawyers are availed with the opportunity to directly interact with some of these innovations and be advised on the self-regulatory mechanisms firstly, and secondly, give advisory opinions on the best mode of regulation for some of these blockchain entities. I forgot to put that we are a non-profit entity, so our end is not really to make profit out of it, but we have a self-sustainability mechanism that we have designed, and some of the members from the blockchain association we've contacted, such as from Bit Survey, have advised us that they are willing to pay membership fee upon kickstarting of this our project. Yes.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. My question is for Timothy. What blockchain platform are you using?
Yeah, currently we're piloting with Ethereum. So Ethereum allows us to be able to post on the blockchain, and each time we get an invoice, we post it on the blockchain, and it allows us to use it kind of free of charge until we need to update the blockchain. Then we need to have some Ether to enable transactions on it. But as we progress more, we're able to move forward with Ethereum because it's tried and tested. It's very scalable, and it has a lot of resources, allowing us to easily scale. Because right now we have 4 to 5 clients that we work with, but with the additional blockchain and Ethereum, it allows us to handle more clients more frequently. We do spend less time trying to validate invoices and spend more time trying to actually give our clients access to money. Because with Ethereum, the blockchain is distributed, it's popular, and it's very, very trustworthy and allows us to do what we want to do, and that's give a breath of life to SMEs in Uganda and Africa.
My question is for Daniel. So actually, I want to know more about your business model. So how are you charging things on the consulting basis, and how do you measure your results?
We've developed a mechanism of feedback where we have feedback forms. So the participants within the blockchain community itself will give us feedback on whether we are addressing some of the legal challenges they are facing in their day-to-day interactions. For example, Bit Survey, Bitland, they've been trying to engage with, I think, the Ministry of Lands to see that blockchain is employed to verify and streamline land registration. So once we have had a session with them in our think tank discussions, they can give us feedback on whether some of the policy briefs that we've come up with are actually reflecting some of the ideas that they are fronting forward. And we believe that blockchain technology is a goose laying the golden eggs, but the absence of a normative legal framework to guide it, or the presence of a legal normative framework that is not reflective of this kind of technology is going to actually kill this goose. So we need a legal normative framework that is understood from the perspective and seen through the legal lens of not only the blockchain lawyers, but also the individuals manning the blockchain industry. Thank you. Thank you for your time and indulgence.
Are we done?
Thank you. Yes, you're done. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome our third presenter, Mohamed Sizomo from Solar People. And I'd just like to request the presenters to just come closer so that we can make up on time. Thank you.
Hi everyone, protocol observed. My name is Mohamed. I'm one of the founders of Solar People. Solar People, at Solar People we accelerate energy to off-grid communities, specifically small and medium-sized enterprises, using our technology-based platform, which leverages data on end users' energy demand, product financing, and service. This data is then used by the end users, energy providers, and other agencies. Today, I present to you the peer-to-peer electricity cooperative trading platform, a new solution powered by Ethereum, which we are adding onto the Solar People platform. But before I go into this solution, I would like to share with you the problem we are trying to solve. There are over 1.2 million small businesses. I'm talking about informal businesses in off-grid communities of Uganda. These are remote, undocumented, and lack financing for energy, which means they appear unattractive to conventional energy providers. The good news is we are introducing a cooperative model, a model, an already proven model in many other sectors. In this arrangement, we help the off-grid community members for businesses like poultry farmers, vegetable and fruit farmers, the likes of Julius, as you saw in the previous slide, come together, raise funding through the initial coin offering, with each of them having equal rights as well, members, and then they are able to buy a mini grid. Let's say a mini grid which could power a cold room, refrigerating, a milk cooler, something like that. And then they are issued tokens which is equivalent to the watts. What happens? They start to consume power and trade amongst themselves. This model helps electricity to be accessible to both the rural and peri-rural communities. Transactions are decentralized. Reconciliation are done automatically. So as you can see, there is trust. The benefits are uncountable, as members will consume electricity at a low cost. They have trust, as in they own the plant, and therefore in general, there will be more productivity of these businesses which would have not gotten a chance without this platform, because remember, they are undocumented, they are remote, not viable like these other conventional providers. In most cases would easily ignore them because they are not financially viable. My name is Mohamed. We are Solar People, the power to the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohamed. That was a very interesting presentation. So the energy sector in much of Africa, and I presume Uganda, is highly regulated. So how does your solution sort of adhere to the rules and regulations that have already been set in your country, for example?
First of all, we are also tapping into existing cooperatives as well, which are following regulations. But there are some kind of the micro mini grids I'm talking about. For instance, let's look at dairy farmers who need a milk cooler, which costs Uganda shillings like 30 million. And to power that milk cooler, you will need some sort of a mini grid. You see? We will search a grid. It could also power some other small businesses around. So there is a category of, like, for instance, the mini grids, whereby you will not need even a what? A license. But this is also an experience for us. We are learning. So we'll adjust as we get feedback.
Thank you, Mohamed. No further questions from the judges. Can I ask the next presenter to please come on the stage? Helena Ambachu from GH Blockchain. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Helena Mbacho and I'm the co-founder and CFO of GNH Blockchain. I've been in the export industry for the past few years, and our solution actually is going to help exporters like myself with roadblocks that they face in Uganda and other East African nations. Okay, so GNH Blockchain aims to solve inefficiencies and to build transparency in Uganda's supply chain using blockchain for smart contracts, cross-border payments, and shipment tracking for the agro-food industry. Our mission is to improve Uganda's import-export industry by making supply chain transparent, secure, and paperless by using blockchain. Our vision is to improve Uganda's supply chain for agricultural products and attain a trade surplus by 2023. So, the problem we're trying to solve is a trade deficit in the supply chain of Uganda. And according to the Uganda Export Promotion Board, the government hopes to attain a middle-class income by 2020. And one of the driving forces would be to increase the export income. Now, if we focus on agricultural products, it would be very feasible because 80% of the total exports are actually agro-food commodities. Okay, so the solution that we offer, sorry about that, includes GNH smart contracts, GNH blockchain tracking, and GNH bit payments. Now, smart contracts, not only are they faster than the conventional way, but they also connect farmers with buyers, eliminating the middleman. So let's say a coffee shop owner in New York can get coffee beans directly from a Ugandan farmer, getting themselves a cheaper price, but also the farmer can get higher price for their commodity versus them giving it for a lower price for a trader and they make the premium. Now that can also benefit Uganda because instead of traders in Dubai or China making the premium, the foreign currency can benefit Uganda. Now our next solution is the tracking, and it's going to offer a solution that creates transparency from farmer to consumer. So nowadays consumers want to know where their product is coming from. Is it with good farming practices, ethical? Are farmers getting paid enough? And this, our system can allow transparency for that, and it will also make Uganda's product more appealable to those type of consumers. Our tracking system will also focus on quality control. So now currently exporters in Uganda, there isn't a conformity assessment body here, so they have to send it to Kenya, for example, to get it tested and certified. So if with one batch, let's say if you have 3 clients that want it and it's not at the same time, you would have to get it certified 3 times. But with the blockchain, if it's on there, more than one client can look at it. It's transparent, so it can save money and time that way. third solution, Bit Payments, it's going to offer cross-border payments by making it more secure and lower cost. Now, exporters traditionally use letter of credit, which takes about 2 weeks. But with our solution, you can get your payments in 2 hours. And it can also work with the smart contract. So,
sorry, is time up?
Time up, okay. All right, well, if you have any questions, thank you for listening.
So just to understand, what's your business model? Because there are about 3 solutions that you're pitching. So what's the business model?
So it's a software as a service business model. And it will also be available on mobile application as well.
Thank you very much. So my question is about, have you think about who exactly is your targeted consumer of using this platform, your product, and do you think that's really affordable for them to use that?
Yes, okay, so we're targeting farmers, we're targeting traders, exporters, and also end consumers. Yes, it would be affordable because we would just charge on per transaction, which they pay that anyways right now. You pay for LC, you pay for contracts, because you will need lawyers, things like that, so. Is that it? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next presenter, Jethro Tindimwepwa.
Hello. My name is Jethro. I'm here to My name is Jethro. I'm here to present my amazing startup called Snitch It. The next slide. Basically, I'm trying to solve a very big problem, which is the current fatalities and very dangerous roads we have in Uganda. If you look at the slide, we have one of the highest fatalities in the world, according to the World Bank statistics. Then Uganda police currently estimates that over 81% of these fatalities are because of human errors. Traffic law enforcement is plagued by corruption, as everyone knows. Then most cars in Uganda are very old and don't have any safety features that can prevent accidents. Our startup basically seeks to combine 2 current legislations to eliminate most of these problems. We are going to combine the Whistleblowers Act with the express penalty scheme for traffic offenses. This is a scheme which has been around whereby a traffic officer can give you a ticket for a crime you've committed. So the crimes that are captured by the EPS range from illegal overtaking, illegal parking, driving without a seatbelt, things like that. So our startup seeks to reward Ugandans who report these crimes, you understand. So basically you'll get a percentage of the money of the corresponding ticket. So basically if a ticket is worth 400,000, you'll be entitled to 5% of that ticket or 10% of that ticket. You understand? So this encourages Ugandans to report as many crimes as possible, while at the same time benefiting from our solution. So basically users, how the system will work, our users will have applications which will be able to record time-stamped footage of all the crimes. That means you just pick out your phone, even if you don't have a car, report the person who is committing a crime. You upload it to our system. The first person to report the crime is the one to be considered for the reward. So, like I said earlier, nearly all traffic offenses can be captured by our system. So, can move on to the next slide. So, how part of the requirements for our pitching was that we are supposed to demonstrate how unique our idea is. But I can assure you, there's no one here who has ever heard of such an idea. So this is a very unique startup. So I'm going to focus on how blockchain technology will help our system. So with blockchain, we are able to capture this information and keep it secure without anyone being able to tamper with it. Then considering the Whistleblowers Act, what makes the Whistleblowers Act effective is the fact that the person who has reported, his identity has to be protected. You understand? So with blockchain, we are able to guarantee that. Then we have the added benefit of paying you over the blockchain network. If you want to get coins, you can get coins. If you want to get mobile money, you can get mobile money. Yeah. So it's also eases tracking of complaints, and with the blockchain, we avoid duplication of submitted complaints. So basically, that is it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jethro. Interesting submission. I'll tell you this, I don't like the guy seated on my right.
Okay.
And I intend to report him for a crime.
Why?
Evidence, what evidence are you going to give, be able to give that someone actually committed the crime without causing any bias? Because I could simply report anyone I want.
No, because now the main part of our startup is footage. You're not just going to call, pick up your phone and say, UAX overtook me at this point, so I need a reward. No, the main part is footage. And the footage has to be time-stamped, you understand? So preferably, we are taking videos, you understand? A video is one of the hardest multimedia file that is difficult to Photoshop or edit. So I can record a video of you overtaking in a dangerous corner. So how will you say that, I'm malicing the person who is...
I'm not allowed to use my phone while driving.
Eh? No, I'm saying they are dash cams. I'm trying to get Ugandans to use dash cams.
Okay, let me just follow up on this question. So assuming your app is very successful, so you have thousands and thousands of footage every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So how are you going to analyze that sort of in real time or in near time to punish the offender?
Of course, there will be a human interface whereby whichever footage comes in is verified. And
but this is a lot of footage. Imagine
it's a lot of footage.
All Ugandans are using it.
Because the beautiful thing about my application is once it is set up, in the first year, you will have so many offenses, so much footage coming in, because Ugandans are very bad drivers. But after they realize that, because with my system in place, if you drive from Kampala to Mbarara, you can end up having tickets worth 7 million shillings. If you're a drunk driver driving as if you own the country, you can have tickets worth 7 million shillings for basically that journey. So now, with such a thing, if you get such tickets, after 1 year, all that traffic will come down. So it's basically focusing on getting Ugandans to behave on the road and save lives.
Thank you, Jethro.
All right.
Oscar Ofumbi is our next presenter, and is presenting something on agriculture.
Thank you. Oscar Ofumbi is my name, and I'm presenting on our Agri-wallet. Agri-wallet ideally is a fintech platform focused on financial inclusion in the supply chain through customer profiling, smart contracts, and a digital collateral receipt. What are we seeking to work with? Sorry. Okay, agriculture employs 66%. Okay, beg your pardon. I only have 3 minutes. Okay, great. Thank you. Agriculture employs 66% of Uganda's working population, and 76% of these are actually women. However, many continue to be conned and cheated in the trade cycle. So what's the problem we seek to accomplish in this? There are two problems. There's security of title and certainty of income. When we talk of security of title, what are my rights as an unpaid seller? After you've delivered your goods to the buyer, what rights do you have after that? As an unpaid seller, under the law, you actually have an opportunity to claim your goods if you haven't been paid. But because they hand it over and have nothing to show, because there's no evidence, then they are unable to claim that. Under certainty of income, who will buy my produce? One of the biggest problems we have is that after you have completed your growing of the produce and then you pass it over, what's the certainty of actually purchase? Then you end up having a waste of the food stuff because it gets rotten because nobody came to buy it. And so what is the solution that we propose? We propose a supply chain engine, and ideally we're talking about a supplier, a buyer, and a Agri-wallet. Under the supplier, the SME or farmer creates a digital collateral receipt, which is an immutable document of title, and the buyer accepts the terms and signs it digitally. What a Agri-wallet ideally does is store, provide liquidity, and manages disputes. If there is a dispute between the buyer and the supplier, Agri-wallet is able to actually manage that particular activity. And this is what we propose to do, and because we only have 3 minutes for this, we want to say thank you for this opportunity.
No questions for you from the judges. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Round of applause, please. Next presenter, Roland Parks, ABC Health. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope I can get the clicker to work. Thanks for allowing me to present. I'm presenting ABC Health. My name is Rosalind Parks-Ratanchi, and I'm the director of the Ugandan Academy for Health, Innovation and Impact. We're based at the Infectious Diseases Institution at Makerere University, and we're a Ugandan non-profit. And this project has been developed with my team. Our project is called Activating Blockchain for Health in Uganda. And the problem that we hope to look at is the fact that Ugandans need to be able to access good quality health services when and wherever they need them in the country. And we need to reduce losing our valuable resources that are limited in this area. This is one of the Sustainable Development Goal 3 is health for all, and Uganda is not reaching this Sustainable Development Goal at the moment. So our solution is to use blockchain to underpin the health system, to increase coverage, access, safety and quality of healthcare. in a social innovation project. Imagine a Ugandan household consisting of an HIV-positive man, his pregnant wife, and their child. He normally gets his HIV care from a government health facility, but it would be easier and more convenient for him if he could access his drugs at a community pharmacy, hopefully. This would be a private pharmacy. However, it would require data to be shared with other parts of the system, including the national medical stores that houses the drugs. His pregnant wife may wish to deliver in a government health facility, but she may also access services for other implementing partners, for example, vaccination from her child. Her information and the baby's information needs to flow around the system, but there may also be individual or groups of donors who want to contribute to the cost of her delivery, ensuring she has an HIV-negative baby, and this would allow them to directly be able to interact with her or the health facility in a transparent way to support her care. Once the baby is born, the baby may actually access care at a private health facility, but the information on that event will need to be distributed through the national monitoring system. The connections that are coming up on the screen show us how decentralized nodes can share information on patient data, supply chain, drugs and logistics, human resources, financing, as well as leadership, governance, and research, ensuring trust and efficacy by using blockchain as a platform. By the next 10 years, Uganda has ambitions to set up a national health insurance scheme. This will be a complex mix of public, private facilities offering care and public and private funders into the system. This will require trust and transparency between many more partners than exist at the moment and information sharing across those partnerships. And we believe that blockchain is a way of ensuring trust in our national health insurance system moving forward. So what makes us unique? We are part of a medical organization. We have a range of social innovation projects in health across the country with a long track record. Currently, we are providing care to over 100,000 patients across many districts in Uganda. We have a track record in emerging technologies through mHealth projects for HIV adherence that we're running. And we have a network of government, non-governmental, and research institutions that we work with. We already have funding for a pilot project, hopefully, that will decentralize the HIV care component. So we have funding to develop a system where patients who are getting government services can access their drugs in a private pharmacy, and we think this will be the ideal platform to pilot a blockchain system. So in summary, we want to do a social innovation project using blockchain to improve health for all Ugandans. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I think I clearly understood the confusion with the arrows crossing and all the problems that brings, but it wasn't clear how your solution is going to be any different from that.
Okay, so if we think about the pilot project we're doing at the moment, which is that we want anybody who has HIV in Uganda who's getting care at a government facility to be able to go to a private pharmacy to be able to pick up their tablets, because there are long queues in the facilities are overwhelmed. But at the moment, it's very difficult to have for the private pharmacies to access government drugs because there's a lack of trust in that system. So just for the very first building block, and then you can extrapolate to the rest of the health system, just for this very first project, we see that blockchain would allow the national medical stores, the Ministry of Health site, the pharmacy, and other people, including the Ministry of Health main offices, Resource Centre, and Ministry of Finance, to see the transactions that are happening using government drugs but in the private system. So it allows the trust and transparency across those systems. And then that can be extrapolated to other parts of the system.
All right, thank you. You said you're piecing together a lot of information from sort of different services that you may be offering. How do you ensure that the end user or the sort of the Monanchi on the ground can have access and control of that data, given that we're talking about the health records?
Yeah.
And blockchain right now is really fully transparent. So how do you marry the two?
Okay, so there's two different components to that. There's the privacy issue around using blockchain for these type of health records. And then there is also improving the access of a normal Ugandan living outside of Kampala to accessing their own health records. So two different issues that we see. We know that, well, from our understanding, is that there is an increasing amounts of work in the health space with blockchain around how to keep data private. Our understanding is that we would need something around a private consortium that would allow data to be limited to a certain number of people. But my understanding is that as blockchain technology gets more and more advanced, there will be more and more examples of how we can protect data, patient data, more carefully. But it's an issue that will need to be resolved as the project develops. On the other side, at the moment, all health records, the majority of health records here are fragmented on paper, on bits of scraps of paper. There is the potential, although this is a long-term 10-year project, there is the potential of allowing individuals to, or individual households to collect their own health data and have their own health wallet where they collect data and perhaps resources on their own health that they can share with healthcare providers over time.
No further questions for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lastly, Mr. Eddie Mugisho.
Okay, good evening everyone. Can you please start with the video, a small video please? Okay, you can play the video when I finish. Okay, my name is Eddie, and I lead a small research lab at my university, at International University of East Africa. We mostly work in computer science problem, and recently we've been working on blockchain-based solutions. We realized that blockchain may provide a lot of solution to most problems we see in our local communities. And we have developed many prototypes, and today I'm glad to present to you Swift Music. Swift Music is a blockchain-based musical platform. Next, please. I realize that there is many problems in the musical industry right now. You see, the current musical platform that we have, either it's Spotify or iTunes. The problem is, if you are a musician and you are selling on this platform, you are not accessing the biggest part of your markets. Why? Because if you are selling on iTunes, not everyone has an iPhone. And if everyone had an iPhone, all of them couldn't really get, bank accounts. And you know that in Africa we have a big problem of economic exclusion. Only 27% have active bank accounts. So if you are a musician, you see that you are missing out a lot of, market opportunity. So, and even though people could pay for it, you see, fees are very high. You see, they cut, 30% to 45% on iTunes, Tidal, Deezer, Spotify, and others. And all that without even considering the money that your label will take, your music house. either it's universal music and all of them. And we see that, musicians could, are missing out a huge opportunity market. You see, now here we have blockchain, and blockchain could provide a lot of value to this problem. So next, please. So why is Swift unique? Why is Swift music unique? What values this system can provide? This one can provide easy and accessible payments. We have built right now wallet software that people can download directly and starting payments. And currently we are thinking about integrating it with Zcash, and later we may use even other cryptocurrencies. And this system has many advantages. As it's based on blockchain technologies, musician remuneration is direct. Here there is no third-party commission. There is no third party involved. When you pay a music, when you pay a song, please, for a musician, the money will go direct to his wallet address. So now these people can, start making money out of their work. And here fees are very low to our platform compared to the current platform, either Spotify, Deezer, and others, because here only 2 to 5% might be taken. And we think that if we come up with this type of solution, we may provide now the easy adoption for blockchain services. Why? Because these people, these musicians have a huge, they access a lot of mass. So if a musician say, okay, all my fans go and download this wallet software so that you can pay, you can get to pay for me, music. Now that will create a little bit, a push for adoption for blockchain-based services. And this one can start with music. Tomorrow will be, for news industry, for journalists. You want to see an article, you pay just this small microtransaction. And today we know that, blockchain most of blockchain allow microtransaction. So we may take advantage of these technologies, and we are pretty much sure that by using this type of technology, we may now push forward the final adoption of blockchain-based services. And we think it's possible. So thank you. Mr. DJ, can you play now, the video? That's the platform that we have been building. It's a prototype that shows, the process. Can you play? So it shows that, you have to pay QR code. Everything is already enabled, and all the prototype are almost, ready to be in production. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Moment you can scan with your wallet software, and when you do the payment, the money will go directly to the musician. So, and we think that if this get adopted, it will be a very huge win for the blockchain community, because if we get musicians to start accepting this type of services, it will be a very big win. Next will come, e-commerce platforms and others. Journalists will be now, selling per article. And what we know that people are willing to pay, even 500 shillings per song, but current system don't provide us this way of paying this microtransaction. So with blockchain now we see the opportunity of this type of the systems, and now this might drive the final adoption. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I think brilliant solution, but I just want to know who's your customer, and where is that customer that's going to use your platform?
Okay, thank you for the question. Our customers or our main stakeholder are musicians. The idea is because we have talked with people in the musical industry here in Uganda, we have got, some connections, some people, and they said they are really willing to start using this type of systems because they are not making money either on iTunes or Spotify. They are making so little money. And for them, if they can give priority to this type of services, to be publishing the hottest songs before publishing to other services, because they are not making money on other services. So we may start here in Uganda and then grow bigger and bigger, Africa and all over the world, because even the greatest musicians are not making money online.
All right. Thank you. So my question is, there are quite a number of blockchain music applications from all over the world.
Yes.
I think
yes.
I even have a couple on my phone.
Yes.
So what's your differentiator? Are you doing something that these competitors can't do in Uganda or in Africa? Okay,
we realize that even though all these people exist, but they are still, they're still linked to the old way of doing. Even though they may say they are blockchain based, most of the time they're still centralized and linked to banks. But with this one, because we'll provide all the full package software wallet in a way that you will never ever need a bank account to buy a song. And you can buy any with as small as 100 UGX, which is very little, and I know many people might be willing to pay that. So I think that's what we are trying to do.
Thank you, Eddie. So my question is, have you analyzed how big your market size is, and how do you plan to scale up?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
are you only limited to the musicians, or you might roll out to other kind of industries?
No. Okay. Thank you for the question. We realize that the market size is very big, and only here, even if you think about here in Uganda, musicians have a very big power. And these people, they can have a power to drive adoption of these blockchain-based services. Once these things becomes popular with musicians, next step might be e-commerces, another step for journalists, to selling articles and blog and stuff. And all these things, they are the stuff that will drive adoption for blockchain-based services. And we believe that this is almost the only way of doing, because services are kind of missing right now. Because you have blockchains, but good services that can be used by everyday users are missing. So that's what we are trying to solve, and my team.
Yeah, so, okay, my follow-up question is, in terms of addressing this huge market, you probably need a lot of money. So how are you going about, what's your business model? How are you going about ensuring that you'll be there,
Okay, thank you for the question. We designed our business model to be as simple as possible. We are taking 2 to 5% per each transaction, and we believe that with adoption we can get it up to millions of transactions a day. Now imagine that percentage. It's going to be a very, very big, a very, very big business idea with a lot of revenue for any type of investors or the early investors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all the 8 presenters. Before we close this, I'd like to make an announcement. If anybody comes across a Stanbic Bank ID, please bring it to myself. They've given it to somebody already? Okay, thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, we had 8 presenters, 7 minutes, an idea with a solution, each with question from the judges. Can you please clap for our judges? So how it works from here is the judges will sit and deliberate. The prize giving will be tomorrow during the closing and award ceremony. But before we end, I would like to thank our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, your hands together for Crypto Savannah, Sure Remit, and Binance. Excuse me, these things are very exciting. So I'd like to thank James and Aliyah for putting this together and for our judges' time. We're now going to have a discussion with the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, departure is at leisure. There's tea upstairs, and we will convene tomorrow morning here at 8:30 to continue with day 2. Thank you very much.